The left is losing their collective minds over the fact that Trump's policies are actually helping black people. Why? Because when black Americans work, liberals are deprived of their power to enslave them to government.
The black unemployment rate has fallen to a record low of 6.8%.
The black unemployment rate is 6.8%, the lowest in history.
Black unemployment is at a 20-year low.
More black people working, well, that sounds like a good thing to me, but the leftists at The Atlantic say the black and Hispanic unemployment rates don't deserve applause. Really? Don't applaud for the fact that more blacks and more Hispanics have jobs and are working hard? Yes, because Democrats need them to be without jobs. Because when blacks are actually working, the Democrats suddenly lose their ability to enslave blacks through welfare, through government handouts, and through socialist redistributionist policies. Gal Sharpton is in denial about this. She took to Twitter and wrote, "Black unemployment is still higher than other groups in this nation. How are you planning to bring the black unemployment down even more, Mr. President?" Excuse me, under her savior, Barack Obama, black unemployment was more than twice as high as it is now. It was double the national average. And she has the audacity to go to the White House and call this president a racist? She doesn't really care about the quality of black lives here, because like too many blacks, she's a Democrat first and foremost. You see, the Democrat Party thrives off of creating a permanent underclass of minorities who have become completely and utterly dependent on the government for their livelihood. Liberal policies are not really designed to lift these people up. They are designed to oppress them under the guise of compassion, to keep them indebted to those who are providing for them, i.e. the government. They know that they need blacks dependent on government for votes, for Democratic votes. The left would rather have minorities poor and collecting welfare checks than supporting themselves, because the minute blacks realize that they don't need government to survive, it means big trouble for the Democratic Party. That's why they tell them all the hardships that they faced are caused by the Republicans. So if you're wondering why 95% of black people vote for Democrats, that is why. The liberal lies are why. But if you notice, that number is starting to change a little bit. The Atlantic, the very same publication who said we should not applaud more minorities working, even they have to admit black men are one of the few groups for which Trump's 2017 average approval ratings significantly exceeds his 2016 vote share, and that Trump has established a modest but durable beachhead among African American and Hispanic men. Also, that in every age group and every level of education, about twice as many African American men as women gave Trump positive remarks. Now, the hacks over at Salon magazine are desperate to discredit that. One writer for the magazine writes, "There's no way African Americans are warming up to Trump." And the author's evidence? Quote, "I'm a black person and I know a bunch of black people. I feel like I know more black people than the average black person. In addition to our skin, there's one thing that unites us all. Donald Trump is the worst president in the history of the world." Now, how very scientific of you. Me and my friends, we all really hate Donald Trump, which means everyone must. That's not how it works. Perhaps you should do your homework and read about a guy named Woodrow Wilson, fellow Democrat, by the way, who segregated federal workers and hosted a private screening of the Ku Klux Klan idolizing film Birth of a Nation at the White House. Or what about FDR, another fellow Democrat, who rounded up Japanese people in camps? Read about Andrew Jackson, the founder of the modern Democratic Party, who tried to exterminate the Indians. Trump's policies are resulting in record jobs for black people. And that makes him the worst president in the history of the world? Sorry, but the numbers don't lie here. Black people are working and they are earning for themselves at a higher rate than ever, and they'll get to keep more of that money thanks to Trump's tax cuts. And you know what? The Democrats are scared right now because they know that their phony guise of being pro-minority and caring for the poor is being exposed by conservative policies that actually help people, that actually lift people out of poverty. They can paint conservatives as evil and heartless, but the truth is conservatives want everyone to be prosperous. We want everyone self-reliant, not dependent on government to survive. Watch. As more people realize that these conservative principles make their lives better, the Democrats will continue to isolate themselves in their extremism.